The Bitcoin Street Journal podcast. Bitcoin breaks borders, builds empires, and baffles critics.
Welcome back to the Bitcoin Street Journal podcast. I'm your host, Anna, here to guide you through one of the most explosive weeks in Bitcoin history. From billion-dollar Bitcoin buys to sovereign monetary revolutions, today's rundown is loaded with data, drama, and digital gold.
Breaking news. Strategy makes another mega purchase.
Strategy has acquired another 1,895 Bitcoin for $180 million. That brings the firm's 2025 Bitcoin-related gains to $5.8 billion and adds to their aggressive treasury strategy, now targeting $84 billion for BTC accumulation. At this pace, Strategy is writing the playbook on corporate Bitcoin adoption. Meanwhile, Semler Scientific isn't far behind. The publicly traded company added 167 BTC to its balance sheet this week, bringing its total to more than $342 million in Bitcoin holdings.
Global currency boards start to recognize Bitcoin.
Bitcoin has appeared alongside major world currencies on an airport express exchange board in Norway. It's no longer fringe, it's financial infrastructure. This development is another cultural milestone and an example of how deeply Bitcoin is penetrating global economic consciousness.
Jack Mallers puts volatility in perspective.
Jack Mallers made headlines again, reminding critics that volatility is a feature of life itself. If your heart had zero volatility, he said, you'd be dead. Bitcoin isn't risky because it's volatile. It's volatile because it's working.
Bessent acknowledges Bitcoin as a store of value.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent stated clearly, Bitcoin is becoming a store of value. When the Treasury Secretary speaks, markets listen. This isn't noise, this is signal. The narrative is shifting from speculation to preservation.
Wallet of Satoshi to enable self-custody.
Wallet of Satoshi is teasing a new self-custody feature. This represents a potential sea change in how Lightning wallets interact with the broader ecosystem. Self-custody means sovereignty, and this move brings custodial apps one step closer to true Bitcoin principles.
Historical context: Venezuela's streets paved in worthless fiat.
A photo went viral this week showing streets littered with Venezuelan bolivars, hyperinflated and abandoned. Bitcoin, with its fixed supply and decentralized enforcement, offers a solution. This isn't theory. It's happening now.
CNBC predicts Bitcoin's momentum.
A CNBC analyst claimed that if Bitcoin breaks the $100,000 level, it will rocket toward $125,000. This level is being watched as a potential springboard, and traders are lining up accordingly.
Jack Dorsey brings Bitcoin to Norway's sovereign wealth fund.
Former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey reportedly discussed Bitcoin fundamentals with the chief executive of Norway's $1.8 trillion sovereign wealth fund. The world's largest funds are no longer ignoring Bitcoin. They're engaging directly with its thought leaders.
Trump era ushers in Bitcoin political momentum.
Since Trump's election victory, mainstream media coverage of Bitcoin has sharply increased. Trump is now hosting a crypto-themed dinner on May 22 with major meme coin holders. Meanwhile, Senator Wendy Rogers is vowing to reintroduce her Bitcoin reserve bill in Arizona, despite the governor's recent veto.
Altcoins and airdrops.
Binance added SXT, Donkey, Jaeger Hunter, and Mix Finance to its alpha project listings. Icon is being rebranded as Soda's Change with a one-to-one token swap. These developments signal the continued evolution of altcoin ecosystems and user-facing rebrands.
Real-world assets hit new milestones.
Tokenized real-world assets have now surpassed $22 billion in total value, up over 10% in the last 30 days. Projects like Spark, Tangible, and Anemoy are leading the charge in merging TradFi with DeFi.
Bitcoin miner updates and market flows.
Riot Platforms reported $161.4 million in Q1 revenue, a 13% rise quarter over quarter, with mining income doubling year over year. Meanwhile, KuCoin's Bitcoin reserves dropped 77% following a new KYC mandate, indicating serious user migration and privacy concerns.
TVL and trading volume surge on Flare.
Flare's total value locked has skyrocketed, led by the rise of USD Zero, an omni-chain version of Tether. Solana's dApps generated $162 million in April revenue. Solana's mobile data network Helium now has over 200,000 paid subscribers, a new all-time high.
Whales, shorts, and options activity.
Bitcoin whales offloaded approximately 50,000 BTC over the past 10 days, likely locking in profits. Meanwhile, $300,000 Bitcoin call options are now the second most popular among traders. Futures funding rates remain flat, suggesting cautious bullishness.
Security events and legal headlines.
The hacker behind the $190 million Nomad Bridge exploit was arrested in Israel. The official X account for Curve Finance was compromised, and attorneys for Samurai Wallet alleged the Treasury withheld critical information before pressing charges.
Tether's big AI play.
Tether announced plans for an open-source AI platform with Bitcoin and USDT integration. The initiative puts Tether in direct competition with OpenAI and positions Bitcoin at the heart of future AI commerce. OpenAI, meanwhile, has abandoned its plan to become a for-profit entity, and its WorldCoin biometric project was just suspended in Indonesia.
Trump's new trade front and tariffs.
Trump's recent comments included support for crypto and a reevaluation of trade with China. He acknowledged that tariffs, like the 145% imposed on Chinese goods, can't last forever. Expect policy shifts in the coming weeks.
Bitcoin payments go mainstream.
In El Salvador, a user booked an international flight using Bitcoin. Hotels, restaurants, and retailers across the country are now accepting BTC as standard payment.
Bitcoin technicals and market analysis.
Bitcoin continues to consolidate near the $96,000 level. Despite a brief rejection at $98,000, momentum remains bullish. CNBC and multiple analysts forecast a continued run towards six figures. Meanwhile, XRP remains in a tightening consolidation zone, and Ethereum has seen a 22% spike in long-term holder accumulation.
Closing thoughts.
This week's momentum is undeniable. From billion-dollar buys and airport ticker boards to sovereign wealth funds and trade policy shifts, Bitcoin is no longer waiting for approval. It's building its own institutions. I'm Anna, and this has been the Bitcoin Street Journal podcast. Stay sovereign, stay smart, and we'll see you in the next block.